Welcome back to Modes with Friends. I'm Sean Daniel.
I'm Ian Stich.
And we were just having a little conversation about if modes were organic teas, which mode would be which mode?
Yes.
Obviously, the major scale would be green tea,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
The minor scale,
A black tea kind
Black
of grabs
tea.
grabs you.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
We did Lydian in the last video.
Yes.
That's a
chamomile.
Chamomile.
Yeah.
Is it mile or meal? Chamomile? Chamomile?
Potato.
I think that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, because you like Lydian mode.
Yeah. Locrian would be just like leaves you find
Underneath a car.
like in like a retirement home,
With
like
licorice,
backyard
with black
or something
licorice.
like that. Yeah. Dorian would be
Ooh.
chai,
Dorian would be chai.
right?
Spicy.
Dorian would be chai, a little spicy.
You nailed that.
Thank you. We're doing this on the spot, by the
Yes,
way.
we are.
Phrygian.
Oh, Phrygian. That's like a twisted tea. Mike's twisted tea? No, it's like
alcohol.
That's what's alcoholic. Yeah. What kind of tea?
You're more
would
of a
we-
Phrygian guy.
Phrygian. I feel like it's the stinkiest mode. So what is the stinkiest tea?
I don't really know teas that well. This is probably a bad metaphor to start.
Bad metaphor, but let's just say that Phrygian is such a stinky mode that we can't even equate it to a tea.
Old tea. And then Mixolydian, which is what
Yes.
we're talking about today. The Earl Grey of modes.
The Earl Grey of modes.
Please elaborate on that.
Well, it's kind of it has the nice base of regular tea with some bergamot in it. Just to let you know.
Don't know what that is.
It's the taste of Earl Grey tea. Fun fact for you: designed to keep the England Parliament awake during their Congress because they would fall asleep. But bergamot's a natural waker upper. That's it.
What is bergamot?
It's
a leaf?
It's a word that means something.
Anyway.
Okay, so
We're going to talk about the Mixolydian mode.
Mixolydian mode.
And I think the best way, one of the best ways to talk about modes is to make a riff out of a mode. Because a riff is a standalone piece of music that you can easily incorporate what makes a mode special, right?
yeah,
So Mixolydian, if you don't know, is the major scale with a flat 7. So I'm going to play G Mixolydian, right? And it's just going to be G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So there's that flat 7.
Flat 7.
Right? So this would be the 5 chord in any key. It's lightning.
Yeah.
Right? This would be the 5 chord in any
5
key.
chord.
Very bluesy mode. But I
Yes.
think what people, a common misunderstanding is like, I'm going to play a 7th chord, a dominant 7th chord. So that means I'm kind of playing the Mixolydian mode.
that's one application.
Not really.
Yeah.
And I think what we're going to do today is I'm going to kind of just like riff on a Mixolydian vibe thing, and he's going to provide the context for me.
Right,
So
context.
first, I'm just going to do, this is just going to be a riff out in space, right?
Riff out in
and,
space.
and to make a riff modal, I guess,
Yeah.
you really have to hammer home what makes it special.
What makes
right?
it special?
So I'm going to start by hitting the G, right? 3rd fret of the A string. I'm going to jump right to that flat 7. And then I'm going to jump to the octave, right? So that's just... So this is just it. I'm just adding an F to a G kind of groove, and it's giving me that kind of sound. And to me, that's like the sound of Mixolydian.
Yeah,
right?
major scale
There's
flat 7.
a lot of different opinions on this kind of stuff.
It's very versatile.
But to me, that's kind of what it is. And I think riffing is a good way to kind of get the sound of a mode in your head so you can apply it to different things.
Yeah,
right?
so you save it for later. And I guess all I'm going to do, really, if we can go with the tea analogies, I'm really going to add some like sugar to the tea and
There we
enhance
go.
the flavor.
Uh-huh.
And that's why it's very important to do modes with friends, because
Exactly.
when you're playing with someone who's playing a modal riff, your job in the friend seat is to, or the friend zone, is to is to really emphasize their modal progression with your knowledge. So again, we are playing a G Mixolydian.
Right, so G, and again, we said this is on the 5.
Yeah, 5.
So where is G5? C, D,
C.
E, F, G.
Yes,
So
C.
C is the 1. So we're playing in the key of C major, but I'm playing a modal thing.
Yes.
So I'm playing in G Mixolydian, I'm playing in C major. Same difference.
So all I'm going to do, really, my theory when it comes to modes, if you're going to emphasize the mode, you really want to stay away from the 1 chord. I feel like if you hit the 1, if we hit the C, your modal riff will kind of take on the C flavor instead of
Sure.
a G Mixolydian.
So an example, so let's do this. You just play a G chord, or voicings, G, however you want,
Yep.
over this riff.
C chord or G chord?
What do you want to do first?
I'll do a C chord.
Okay, so do the C chord first, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Really.
It's like there's a lot of C going on, and I still kind of heard a C major.
Yeah.
And this kind of I was forcing it.
Yeah,
it didn't really mesh
didn't mesh
together
right.
that well.
So to make a mesh, I'm going to play the 5 chord and I'm going to play a G, but instead of playing it instead of playing a G, I'm going to play the extended chord, the G7. Really, if that's okay.
Perfect.
Because it's a 5 chord, and 5 chords, if you play them as 7, are so
he's throwing
punchy.
an F note into his chords.
Yeah.
Making kind of a common tone.
So a G chord, G7 has the F in it. So here we go.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
There you go. So that kind of vibed a little more.
Yes.
Right?
Totally.
He provided the context.
Or the sugar.
Provided the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe almond milk. You ever tried that?
Fantastic.
Yeah, in tea. I don't try it.
It's
Yeah,
good.
whatever.
It's good. So now, the G7 brought out his Mixolydian mode in G because it is a flat 7. My chord is a flat 7. But if you want to be a good friend to your modal player, you can kind of move chords around. I'm going to stay away from the 1, so what I'm going to do really, we'll try it out. So I'll play a G7, I'll go to the F, which is the 4 chord. And so many songs, so many riffs are just built around 2 chords moving back to back before they move to the next section. I can do that. Also, another trick is starting the 5 chord and going to the 6. It would be a D minor 7. So I can mix and match G7 to F or G7 to D minor 7, which is a 5 to a 4 or 5 to a 2. I meant a 2. That's a 2 chord.
Right,
Okay.
again, we're in C.
Yeah.
Right?
My apologies.
So, again, notice he's staying away from the tonic. He's staying away from the 1. Get that C out of there. We don't want it.
We don't want it.
This is a mode party.
Yeah, it's a mode
modes
party.
with friends.
Yeah, it's not a major party. It's
Exactly.
a mode party.
Uh-huh.
You
So
ready?
let's try it again.
Okay.
2, 3, 4. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of a little jam thing. I'm just doing a repetitive thing. I'm only really playing 4 notes.
Yeah.
Right? I'm playing a G, a B, a C, and the F, and the octave F, and I'm just jumping around, and it sounds kind of modey.
Absolutely. Take the stuff we're doing, take the same frets, take the same chords. You can play the riff, or you can manipulate the riff to your own suiting. But the thing is that you want to understand, if one person's playing a mode, you have to have another guitar player, piano player, someone to help build the context.
That's right.
Modes with friends.
Now, I want to use this opportunity to kind of go a little outside also.
I'm scared.
Right? I know. Going outside, playing outside, as the jazz guys call it, can be a little scary and daunting at first, but if you understand what's going on, it's a lot easier to wrap your head around, right? So we're talking about, we were doing a mode, the 5th mode in the key of C. Everything was using the exact same note, the same 7 notes in a different way, kind of avoiding the time to get a Mixolydian sound.
Yes.
But what you can do to really make things kind of sound outside and kind of play some of the wrong notes to make things maybe a little more interesting if you're getting bored of the diatonic scale or whatever, which is taking the Mixolydian mode and applying it to the 1 chord. So instead of playing in G major, I'm going to play the same stuff-ish in Mixolydian, but he's going to play chords from the G major scale, right? Ooh. So, and specifically, I want him to kind of hammer home on the 5 chord in G, right? So the 5 chord in G, G, A, B, C, D, is a D major. A D major has an F sharp in it as a major 3rd. And what I'm playing in the Mixolydian mode is an F, a flat 7, which is an F. Ooh. So there's going to be dissonance in this. When he hits a D major chord, there's going to be a clash of an F and an F sharp. Yeah, and it's going to create like, where are we actually? Who's in charge, right?
That Twilight Zone, like.
So this is one way that you can maybe start to kind of experiment if you want to do something a little more outside.
Yeah.
You know, and
starting on the tonic of the actual mode. Like
exactly.
G.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And D, the 5 chord, isn't the only chord in the key of G with an F. There are other ones. Believe it or not.
I'm trying to think of them right now. A minor,
Pretty
B
much.
minor.
There's 3.
Okay.
Yeah. so if he just kind of jumps around, eventually he's going to land on that F.
Got it.
You can.
All right. Eventually I'll land on
the F sharp.
F sharp
is what and I, at the same time that I'm going to be hitting home that same thing, right?
And it's going to be a little dissonant, but then again, you get the sounds.
Could sound bad, could sound something cool, but it's taking a risk, and that's something that I encourage everybody to do.
Yeah.
Even if it's not something, even if you don't want to incorporate it into your own style, it's a great way to kind of wrap your head around maybe just kind of music theory in general.
Right.
And kind of why we think the way we do about certain.
And if it
common
doesn't sound
progressions.
good, you just always look at the other person, being like,
What are you doing?
"What are you doing?" Like, and then you get back to the. Ooh, sounds good.
Yeah,
There we go.
exactly. So-
all right, G, C's, and D's, huh?
Whatever you want to do.
1, 2.
2.
Wow, that sounded awesome.
Sounded
Bob.
okay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's the riskiest thing you could do, but it's
No.
one way that you can kind of play outside. It's like, especially when he was on that D chord and I was
Yeah.
hitting that F.
Yeah,
It kind of does something that's different.
it does. It sounded actually really good. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
and especially if you're searching for your own voice as a musician, I think this
Yeah.
is something that you want to experiment, whether it's with a friend or a looper pedal or whatever.
Yes, and you know what? When you said like finding your own voice before we go, when you hit those moments that you enjoy, pause and find out what's going on. See the relationship between what's happening, because you can use that formula in all of your songs. You know, like an
Exactly.
F to an F sharp is a half step difference, and if you like that sound, be like, well, I wrote this song and I have a C. Hey, put a C sharp in here. How do you do it? I don't know. We'll figure it out because I like that
For sure.
sound.
It doesn't have to be a lead thing at all. It can be a total arrangement thing. Like if you like the sound of an F in the key of G, then you can start borrowing chords.
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
what we did.
So you could have like a D minor, which is D minor is a D, F, and A. If you really like that, take all the chords from G major, toss the D major out, and stick a D minor in there, and then you can get some interesting, cool stuff.
It's true. You have a lot of room to wiggle and create. But the most important thing is that the Mixolydian has the flat 7.
That's right.
And it's the 5 chord of the key of C.
And it's not just a blues thing.
No, it's not just a blues thing. It's used in the blues a lot, but it's not just a blues thing. If you want to hear, actually, I mean, you know, I'm a big fan of Grateful Dead. If you want to hear a great Mixolydian song, there's a song called Bird Song. Bird Song is a great song. If you listen to Bird Song and you hear what Jerry Garcia is doing on top of a Mixolydian progression, it's fascinating. So take a listen to that.
And if you like that kind of stuff, definitely head on over to Ian's channel and subscribe. He's a huge jam band, Grateful Dead,
That's
Fish
right.
kind of dude.
Just went to a Fish show. It was amazing. Stich Method, S-T-I-C-H Method, and you'll find me somewhere on YouTube, and I can't thank you enough.
I'm sure it smelled really great at that Fish show, by the way.
It's, you know.
And I'm sure it just went by really fast, like in the blink of an eye, and it's just over.
Yeah.
It's like, it's over already?
Yeah,
This Fish show?
That's what it felt like.
I'll bet it did.
Yeah.
Till next time.